Hi everyone, welcome to the programming session 2. Let me check, is the screen is visible and am I audible to all? Respond in the chat box. Quickly respond in the chat box. In today's session, we are going to discuss some more problems based on control structures, mainly the loops. Okay. In this session, I am going to discuss problems related to palindrome number, the Fibonacci series, how to convert decimal to binary, and some pattern based problems. We will discuss some more pattern based problems, especially in next session. I'm going to give some introduction to pattern based problems in this session. Well, let's start our first one, palindrome number. A number is said to be palindrome if by reversing that number, if we get the same number, means that number is said to be palindrome. For example, take 121. When I reverse that number, means 121 again. Both the numbers are same, right? Reverse of the number and original number are same. That means the number is say 121 is said to be a palindrome number. Observe the logic how you are going to compute. For this means read the number. Now initialize reverse equal to 0. Take a variable and initialize to 0 and you need to this. While number is greater than 0, compute the digit, and reversing is nothing but changing the places of the digit. You can change the place of the digit by this. Reverse equal to reverse into 10 plus digit and modify the number to iterate over the loop. Okay. And finally check whether reverse equal to original number or not. If it is, then say the number is palindrome, else it is not a palindrome. And I will take the example and I will cross check here. Observe carefully everyone. Let the number I am taking to be 121. Okay. 121 is the number I am taking. Now observe, initially reverse is the variable, right? Reverse equals to 0 and you take, while number is greater than 0, 121 is greater than 0. So calculate the digit. Now take the variable digit. Digit is equals to number modulo 10, means 121 mod 10 means what? By dividing the 121 with 10, you got the remainder 1. Digit equals to 1. Now observe this. Reverse equal to reverse into 10 plus digit means 0 into 10 plus digit. 0 into 10, 0 plus digit is 1. Means you will get the reverse as 1 now. Now num equal to num by 10. 121 by 10 is nothing but what? 12 you will get. Now again check. 12 is greater than 0, right? Again compute. Digit is equals to num modulo 10. Num is now 12. 12 modulo 10 means you will get as 2. Now again same. Reverse equal to reverse into 10. 1 into 10 means 10 plus 2 means what? Now the reverse will be 12. Now again compute the n value. N equal to n by 10. 12 by 10 is nothing but 1. 1 is greater than 0? Yes. Digit equal to num modulo 10. 1 modulo 10 means 1 you got this time. Now again calculate reverse value. Reverse into 10 plus digit. 12 into 10 plus 1 is nothing but 120 plus 1 means now you are getting reverse as 121. Again num equal to num by 10. 1 by 10 is nothing but 0. Now this time observe, is number is greater than 0. If 0 is greater than 0, this condition failed. So you stop here and check. Reverse is equals to the original number 121. So we can say that 121 is a palindrome number. Observe the examples. 123 is not a palindrome, because if you reverse you get a 321, but the original number is 123. Both are not same. But 555, when you reverse you will get the same number, so that's why this is the palindrome number. Okay, I hope the concept is clear for everyone. Let me do the coding part for this. Is everyone able to see my Python ideally? Respond in the chat box. Is the Python ideally is visible to all? Respond in the chat box. Okay, observe here. First I need to take the number n equal to int of input. Now I need to take a variable, reverse and initialize to 0. Now observe, while that number is greater than 0, what I am doing is I am extracting the digit. Digit is equals to that number modulo 10, and reverse equals to reverse into 10 plus r. This is how you need to change the places of the digits and change the n value, so that for the next iteration you will get new number n equals to n by 10. By iterating over this loop, you are taking one digit, changing its place value, and after completion of entire loop, the reverse variable will hold the reverse of the given number. And let me take a temporary variable and store initial n value. Observe, if the reverse value equals to the temp, then in that case what we should print is palindrome. Else means the reverse is a different one and the original number is a different one, then in that case print not palindrome. Okay, let me save this code and run. Observe, I am giving a number 123. Some error. Okay, let me cross check what happened. Yeah, this there is no variable called r, right? This is a digit. Digit I had taken. Digit equals to n modulo 10, right? Reverse equal to reverse into 10 plus digit. Now again run this 123. See, 123 is not a palindrome. Now observe, if I am giving the number as 121, this is a palindrome number. I hope the concept is clear for everyone. Let me go for the next problem. The next problem is about Fibonacci series. Initially the series values are 0 and 1, and from this every term should be the sum of previous two terms. Means what? 0 plus 1, 1. To get the next term, you need to add these two terms. 1 plus 1 will be 2. Similarly, 1 plus 2 will be 3. Like that, this will continue. Means the sum of the term is nothing but the sum of the previous two terms. In this way, you need to generate. For that, observe the algorithm. First, read the number. Means generating the Fibonacci numbers until less than that given number. Okay. First initialize f1 0, f2 equal to 1. Means these are the starting terms. Now print f1 and f2 values. Then you will get what? 0 and 1. Let initially the number I had taken as 20 for our simplicity number, and f3 equals to f1 plus f2. Means observe here. This is f3. f1 plus f2 means what? 0 plus 1. 1. Initially what we are having in f1? f1 initially we are having 0, and in f2 we are initially having 1. Now f3 equals to f1 plus f2 means 0 plus 1, 1. f3 is less than 20, right? So print f3 means you will get 1 as output. Now again f1 is equals to f2. This f1 is equals to f2, f2 equals to f3, and f3 equal to f1 plus f2. This you need to repeat until f3 is less than or equals to number. Now f1 equals to f2 means f1 value will become 1. f2 equals to f3 means f2 will become 1 here. Now f3 equal to f1 plus f2. 1 plus 1 means what? 2. Now it will become 2. Similarly again, f1 will become f2. It will become 1. f2 will become f3 means what? 2. f3 will become f1 plus f2. 1 plus 2 means what? 3. This is 3. Right? This way you need to continue. Okay. Observe the example here. Okay, when you given 20, we need to generate the Fibonacci series until 20. Observe starting terms are 0 and 1. To get this term, you need to sum these two terms. 0 plus 1, when you add, you will get 1. To get this term, you need to add previous two terms. 1 plus 1, you get 2. 1 plus 2, you will get 3. 2 plus 3, you will get 5. 5 plus 3, you will get 8. Like this, you need to continue. Okay. I hope the concept is clear for everyone. Let's do the coding part. Okay, observe here. First, we need to read a number. N equals to int of input. Means, let me give some message. Enter number. Okay, we read the number. Now initialize f1 is equals to 0 and f2 equals to 1. And print f1 and f2 values. f1, f2. Now take f3. f3 is equals to f1 plus f2. Now you need to check whether f3 is less than or equals to n or not. While f3 less than or equals to n, means if the computed f3 value is less than n, then you need to generate some more series elements. First, what you should do means print the f3 value, and f1 equals to f2, f2 equals to f3. Means for the next series, for generating the next elements, you need to change f1 and f2 values, right? Therefore, f3 equals to f1 plus f2 again. This is the code you need to do. First, initially we taken the n, f1, f2 initial values we taken, and we computed the f3 value. We check whether the f3 value is in the range, means less than the n value or not. If so, print the f3 value and get ready for the next iteration. Okay, if the concept is clear, let me run this. Let the number I had given as 20. Observe 0, 1 or the initial one. 0 plus 1 will give 1. This 1 plus 1 will give 2. This 1 plus 2 will give 3. This 2 plus 3 will give 5. Like this, the series will generate until less than or equals to 20. Okay. I hope this is clear for everyone. Let's go for the next question. This is the decimal to binary conversion. Observe carefully. Before going to the actual one, let me show you the actual math procedure to solve this. Observe. I hope everyone getting the screen. See, when you observe here, this is the 17 is the number I had taken. What you need to do means continuously divide by 2 and store the reminders. 2 8 are 16, right? The remainder will be 1. Now, take this as number again. The quotient as number again. 2 4s are 8. And this time the remainder will be 0. Now, take the quotient as number again. Now, 2 2s are 4. Again, store the remainder. Take this as number, quotient as number. 2 1s are 2. You got the remainder. Now, observe here. When you take this as number, 1 by 2 means what? You will get 1 here, but the number will become 0 this time. So until number is greater than 0, continuously divide by 2 and store all the reminders. The reminders is what you got? 1, 0, 0, 0 and 1. Right? Observe. 1, 0, 0, 0 and 1. Now what you do is you print it in the reverse order. If you print it in the reverse order, then that will give you the binary number. Means you need to go this order from down to up. Collect all the reminders. Then that will give you the binary conversion for the given decimal number. Okay. Well, let me give you this here. Read the number. If the number is 0, return 0 because the binary value for 0 will be 0 only. You know that binaries will have only zeros and ones. Okay. Now take a reminders string, empty string, and now what you do means while the number is greater than 0, continuously compute the num modulo 2 value, means the reminder you got when the number is divisible by 2, and convert into string type and add that reminder to the reminder string. Now compute the number as number by 2. Means by iterating over this loop, what you are doing means calculating the reminder and changing the n value. Keep on repeating until the number is greater than 0. Now reminders list, reminders string will have all the reminders. As I said earlier, you need to collect the reminders in reverse order, right? So what you do means print the reverse of the reminders. Once you print the reverse of it, you will get the binary conversion. Observe here. This is the 10. 10 is the number, the decimal number given. Observe n equals to 10. Okay. Now take 2 and a 10. Observe 2 5s are 10, right? What the remainder will get? Will get the remainder 0. Now take this 5 as a number again. Now 2 2s are 4. The remainder will be 1. Now take this quotient as number again. 2 1s are 2. Right? The remainder will be 0. Now 2. If you reach 1, you can stop it here. Let me do one more step. 1, right? 2 zeros are 0, means you will get the remainder 1. Once you get this 0, stop here. Don't proceed further. And you got this all the reminders 0 1 0 1. As I said you earlier, you need to go in reverse order. Means what? From bottom to top, you need to collect. Means 1010. 1010 will be the binary for the decimal number 10. Okay. I hope the concept is clear. The algorithm is clear. Let's do coding part. Let's do coding part now. First, read the decimal number, right? N is equals to int of input of enter decimal number. You entered a decimal number this time. This will be stored in n. Now I'm checking. If n equals to 0, then you directly print 0 because the binary value for 0 will be 0. Now else means the given number is not 0. Then in that case, take a empty list, take a empty string called reminders, and while that number is greater than 0, you continuously divide the number by 2 and store the reminders, right? So what you do means, first compute the reminder. Reminder means what? Num n modulo 2 means you got the reminder. Typecast it into string and add these reminders to the reminder string. Observe, this is the empty string. For this string, you are concatenating the reminder you got. Now you need to change n value, right? N is equals to n by 2. N equals to n by 2. By iterating over this loop, you are continuously calculating the reminders, appending that reminders to the string reminder rem, and changing n value for next iteration. Means all the reminders will be stored in the string rem. Now our job is to get reverse of that string. For that Python, you don't need to do lot of computation. Just write like this. If you write like this, colon colon minus 1, the string will automatically gets reversed. Okay. Let me save this code and run. Observe, the number I'm giving as 10 and the binary value will be 1010. And let me run one more time. When I'm giving 17, 10001, this is the decimal. If I'm giving 0, observe, I'm giving 0, you will get 0 because here itself n equal to 0, this condition will be satisfied and print 0. This will not be executed. Okay. I hope the concept is clear. Respond in the chat box for this problem. Now observe the pattern based question. Means given some n, you need to generate this pattern. Means if n equals to 5, if I had given n equals to 5, means the pattern will look like this. In the first row 1, second row 2 2, 3 times, like printing 3. Like this you need to generate this pattern. If I had given 6, means you need to generate one more row containing the value 6 for 6 times. Okay. For that, what you should do means you need to take 2 loops. One loop, outer loop for the number of rows, means how many rows? 5 rows, right? Like this. And 5 rows, number of rows, and I is for number of rows. Okay. And similarly take j for number of columns. Means in this row how many columns? 1 column. In this row how many columns you have? 2 columns, right? Like this. For every row how many columns? Maintain a variable j for the number of columns. Now observe, in for the first time I value will be 1. I am tracing this logic, observe. And j value will be what? The j value will be starting from 1, and while j is less than or equals to I, you need to go. First, j means 1. 1 is less than or equals to 1. Yes. Print. Now, increment j. j will become what? 2. Is 2 is less than or equals to 1? No. Then come out of the loop and print an empty statement, and let's go for one more incrementation of I. Now I will become 2 and j will start from 1 again. 1. J will become 1. 1 is less than or equals to 2. Yes, print 1. Now print what I'm printing. Printing I, right? I value means 2. Now increment j value. J will become 2. 2 is less than or equals to 2 or not? Yes. Print I value again 2. Over. Now increment j again. J will become 3. 3 less than or equals to 2? No. In that case, print empty statement and again increment I value. Now I will become what? This time I will become 3 and j will start from 1 again. 1. 1 is less than or equal to 3? Yes. Print 3. Now increment j value. J will become 2. 2 less than or equals to I means 3. Yes. Print I again. Now increment 3. 3 less than or equals to 3. Yes. Print 3. Now increment j again. J will become 4 this time. 4 less than or equals to I? No. The condition failed. Means print empty statement and increment I again. Observe the pattern we are getting, right? We are getting the pattern. This is how we need to generate the pattern. Okay. Observe the example. If you are given up to 4 rows, you need to generate this pattern. Let me give the solution code for you. I need to read number, right? N equal to int of input, enter number, I said. Means I am asking an input from the user. I am storing in the n. Now my job is to iterate over 2 loops for I in range, starting with 1 to n plus 1. This is for the number of rows, and one more loop for j in range for starting with 1 to until I you need to go, right? As I said, j less than or equals to I, right? Up to I you need to go. And observe j in range 1 comma I plus 1. What you need to do is you need to print I value and give some space, means comma end equals to space you had given. When j is greater than I, when this loop got terminated, means you need to go for the second row, means you need to print an empty statement. Observe this loop for the number of rows, this for the number of columns, and first for one row you print all columns, then go for the next row and repeat. Okay, let me run this code. The number I had given as 5. Observe the pattern. 1 2 2 3 3 3 4 4 4 4 5 5 5 5. Let the number I had given this time as 10. Observe the pattern. Up to 10 we are getting the pattern, right? Let's go for the next problem. Observe this problem. The pattern got changed here. Observe. This time I am not printing the same value. I am printing in second row, I am printing 1 2. In third row up to 1 2 3. 1 2 3 4. Fourth row like this. Means this is a similar to first pattern, but there is just a change. Observe. Here you should print j value. Instead of printing I value, print j value, because j value is updating from 1, starting from 1 to I. Up to I, the j value is changing. If for the first time I equals to 1, right? For first row I equals to 1. That means j value is ranging from how much? J value will go from 1 to 1. If for a second time, second row I will become 2. Now j value will modify, right? J value will go from 1 to up to I means what? Up to 2. For third row, I value will change and I value will be 3. J value will go up to what? J value will go from starting from 1 to up to I means up to 3 it will go. Observe this pattern. Whenever we are printing J, we are observing a pattern here 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3 like that. Okay. And see, observe the example. This is the example. Whenever input is 4, you need to generate 4 rows. Let me do the coding part again. See, I need to read the number of rows, and then for I in range of 1 comma n plus 1 means the number of rows, and for j in range you should go, what you should do means for j in range from 1 to I up to I you should go, but this time you don't print I, print the j value, print j comma end is equals to space. Now you completed one row means you know you should go for the next row this time, means print an empty statement, right? Print one row, go for the next row, again print second row, go for the next row, like that the loop will iterate. Observe, I had given us 4, now this time 1, 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 3 4, this is the pattern you can observe. And this is all about today's session. We discussed some problems related to loops like a palindrome number, pattern based problems, and decimal to binary conversion. These are the basic problems which will be asked in many of the recruitment tests. And in the previous session, we discussed uh, loops concept like the strong number, Armstrong number, right? In the next session, we will discuss some more problems related to the loops and the patterns, especially patterns, how to generate the patterns using loops. Okay. This is our channel. Do follow our channel for the recorded videos and online quizzes and programming assessments. Okay. I'm going to close this session. Thank you for your participation.